All right, hello and welcome to Catching and Jump Rope Hero Quests. So for this session, HERO is an acronym for Home, Engagement, and Reflection Opportunity. So my name is Brian Nassif. I've taught elementary physical education for 16 years in San Diego. And if you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me on Twitter at fusion_physed or email fusionphysed@gmail.com. I'm also sharing a link to this very slideshow that you're viewing, so you'll be able to copy, paste, and edit it away to make these experiences work for you and your students as well. So let's get started. So Hero Quests. What are these Hero Quests? So they are self-paced learning journeys for the students to enjoy at home, but a lot can be done in person as well. The two that I'll share with you today are a Harry Potter catch quest and a jump rope ninja quest. So why did I create these? Like many of you, I learned that it is hard to keep kids engaged when we aren't physically with them. So I tried to make these as engaging and enjoyable by gamifying them as much as possible and to make them personalized so they can have more opportunities for a self-guided skill development and then a reflection on all their accomplishments as they work their way through. And then also it aligned with our equipment gifts. So after a few months of efforting, I was able to make sure all students had a dice beanbag and a jump rope that they could use at home or at school for those that were already in person, and then also for those when we're moving back into our hybrid phase. And I was also spending a lot of time creating my distance learning experiences, and we know time is precious, so I started thinking how these lessons could be more impactful for the students now and then also into the future as we make our way through the pandemic. So, and I plan to use them in the future as a flipped classroom learning approach activity. So we will get into that on the next slide. So for a flipped classroom, my students and I have spent months learning how to learn online. So we can't just let those skills go to waste. So we now have the platforms to share these learning experiences and for the students to also review them at home. Then after they review it at home, when they come to my class or the blacktop, I don't have a gym, I can work with them individually instead of repeating myself 35 times like a talking robotic head. So, and since they've already heard my spiel in the videos and have had a little practice at home, I can better support students on their levels and better differentiate the learning during those precious minutes that I get to be with them. But that said, I plan to roll this out slowly and only send home a hero quest or video every few months and not to overwhelm, because there needs to be balance. And if all the teachers assign homework, it could really backfire. So how did I create this? Using apps and tools, which I did not know about before we got thrown into this pandemic. So I pretty much learned everything as we went. And for the GIFs, or GIFs, I used Unscreen website, and that removes the background and turns it into a GIF. It's free website if it's under 10 seconds, but I actually sprung for a few extra minutes so I can get all these activities in. And then I also used Image Play GIF Maker that gives you a lot of options, adding text as well. And I learned that you don't want an extra long GIF or GIF with really high quality, or the slides presentation takes forever to load, which is one of the reasons I wasn't using slides before distance learning. But now that I've learned that, I use a little lower quality GIF so that the slideshow loads quickly, which this presentation might actually take forever since it has multiple presentations built into it. So for the videos, I started with iMovie. I was more familiar with that. And I did most of the jump rope quests with iMovie. Then I used Video Leap for many of my distance learning activities and some of the videos you'll see here. And that worked well, but recently I've settled in with KineMaster as my video editing tool of choice. So let me move my picture here so you can see that. Okay, next slide. So inspiration and standards. So a lot of the inspiration came from piecing together different resources shared on Twitter. The phys ed Twitter world's pretty impressive. So there's so much out there though. So what I do is when I see something that I might be able to use, I share that tweet with my Google Keep, and I put that in a labeled category like jump rope, and then leave a quick note of what I thought I might be able to integrate in the future. Then when I'm ready to create, I go to those labeled categories, and then I could see all those different ideas and brainstorm them. And then I also wanted to roll with Harry Potter. That was an inspiration because many of my students had mentioned the book series in our discussions and in our Zooms. So I also knew a lot about them because I was reading the series with my two boys, and I knew they were interested in the theme. So if they're interested in something, then they're going to be more engaged and enjoy it. So when I was working out these ideas, I, again, focused on making it meaningful and challenging and fun for the students while also addressing these standards. So the links here show you how I hashed out the plan. And then there's also a link to an example of a Google form in the Harry Potter overview and follow-up, so I can keep track of who is participating. So let's see if I can click on the Harry Potter. Let's see if that pops up. And there I am. Okay, so here you could see how I broke down the quest. A little overview, the warm-up, the Dumbledore's catching cues, and then I kind of made notes how to review the catching cues, and then I'd gone over the California physical education content standards and the SHAPE GLO standards as well. I try to look at both of those. We are an international baccalaureate school, so I always pay attention to the IB and the program of inquiry as well. So here's a link to the form that I mentioned. This is the form that I also send home with them when I send home these experiences. So the link I have for you actually goes right back to our presentation, but I had a different presentation for them. They get to put their name and their email and their class, and then they can select which cues are correct. And I don't believe Reducto is a correct cue. And then we had some Dumbledore's handy hints. Was it big Hagrid hands or was it Dobby digits? Pinkies together or Weasley wheezes. So little jokes in there for those of you who had gone over Harry Potter and read through it before. And then I also had created a mindful breathing, which will try to end each activity with a mindful minute. So I put that together, which you'll be able to look at on the YouTube channel. All right, let's get back to, after I pause the video. There we go. We'll get back to our presentation. Come down here. And here we can start getting into the catch quest, Harry Potter catch quest. So we can jump into this now. So I used a screen record. So that background that is actually a GIF, and I screen recorded a short clip on YouTube and then used image play to make it into a GIF in the background. And then I also used the image play app to create that title. So that was some of the text options, the font options that they had on there. And not too much information. So I don't want students intimidated when they when they finally find this quest. You know, we're sharing it on Canvas, sharing it in emails. But when they get there, I don't want them to see tons of rules. I wanted them to be engaged and interested and want to click that little button to continue. So let's click it. Let's continue. So they're going to start with this snitch seeker training warm up here. And this one I used the Home Court app, and it was also my first go at the KineMaster app. So I learned a lot while I was creating this. We'll watch a bit of these videos, but it's something you can watch all the way through after this slides presentation if you're interested. And again, I used a clip to hook them in and at the beginning of this. So let's take a look. And I also involved my family. So I pulled the Harry Potter clip.
You are a seeker.
You are a seeker. And you just see all their eyes. Oh,
I want you to worry about.
Interesting. So then they're in.
Snitch seeker training, where you'll react quickly to practice
Go over
catching
the rules
snitch.
briefly.
You'll try to catch the snitches in numerical order before they disapparate. The faster you react, the more training points you'll earn. There are 4 levels of snitch-seeking training.
All right, let's go to level 1. This is my youngest. He was 4 at the time. So I did pretty good. This is a Weasley level. Level 2 is hanging with Harry. There's Harry, my oldest, who was, he might have been 7 at this point. And then got my wife involved, or Professor McGonagall. And now we have bonus blue waffles to grab after. And then, of course, the most advanced level, you have Dumbledore himself, or myself. Very sweaty after this one. So after this, we're done warming up. The Snitch Seeker training. Break a personal record. We get 2,000 points. You get all excited. Exciting moment. Yes! All right. So now we're all in. And we're ready for Dumbledore's catching cues. All right, so now they're all warmed up. They're feeling confident. It's time for some instruction. And I tried to make this, again, as engaging and kind of funny and relatively simple. There are a lot of cues out there, but the ones I went with were I originally saw them from Ben Landers at the PE specialist. So let's take a look at Dumbledore. I actually made that Dumbledore catching cues on image play as well.
Hello, students. Welcome. Today we'll practice the skill of catching. Pass your beanbag.
So I actually don't have powers. That was my oldest throwing me the
You
beanbag.
can't always rely on a summoning charm to catch. And be ready. Grab and give.
So those are the cues I
So
went
first
with.
you must be ready with your eyes and your body.
Broke it all down.
Your eyes look to track the object all the way into your
And we
hands.
had some.
Which can be
Then I reviewed them again. See if it's loading. Subtitles off here.
or else it would just bounce off your hands like a Dementor off of a Patronus.
We got
other
some
tips.
cheesy jokes in there. I always
I
try to
think
throw
you're
in
ready
some
to
puns.
practice now.
And a little
know this.
motivational quote as
It
well.
takes time to master the art of catching. So if you're not successful at first, remember, it is our choices that show who we truly are, far more than our abilities. Farewell, students.
That hits
Good
the
luck.
challenge
and Have
standards
fun.
and the shape yellow standards. And this probably took me the longest just to do that little scene. But my boys appreciated it, and I appreciated them helping me out. So now we're on to the next page. So this is the sorting hat spinner. I really thought that somebody on YouTube would have already created this, but they didn't. So I created it. And now we're ready to play. So they'll first click on the how to play and the tournament tracker to review the rules. So let's click on that. The slides presentation that I shared with you is forcing a copy. I did share this with some others, and then you get these emails and people trying to request access and students trying to edit your document. So if you want to, make a copy. And here you go. Here are the rules. Play and pause the sorting hat video. And the sorting hat will decide which Hogwarts house you'll represent for your catching challenges. Then they'll just click on that crest of the house, and each house has 4 catching challenges. I went kind of with a rule of 4s. I was trying to figure out how many, how long, and I'd seen in Spark years ago the principle is of 3, but 4 made sense for this one. You must make 4 catches in a row to earn the house points, and you have 4 minutes to do it for all of them. And then you're going to check off which challenges you complete as you earn the house points. And then I check and ask who won the house cup, which is down here. And then I also put the cues down at the bottom so they had everything nice and handy on this sheet. So that is right there from the sorting hat spinner page. I'm just going to go ahead and cover up Slytherin. Nobody wants to go there anyways. Unless you're Malfoy. Let's see what we get. Oh, whew, lucky. We got Ravenclaw. So now we're going to click on Ravenclaw, and that takes you here. Get myself out of the way so I can see myself. You're here at Ravenclaw, and again, I go over the rules in more of a bullet point fashion at the top. And then I have a timer built in, so all they have to do is click, and it starts the 4-minute timer. And the goal is for them to start at the Weasley level, but we actually practiced this online. Let me stop this. We practiced this on a live Zoom, and I just see a lot of students win right after the 80 house points, the behind back to the other hand. So after the 4 minutes is up, they can click to return, give another spin of the sorting hat. Oh, we got Ravenclaw, so we got to go somewhere else again. Ravenclaw, that is where we belong. No, Gryffindor. All right, so we go to Gryffindor. I have different challenges. I tried to make them, I try to give each house the best opportunity and equal opportunity to win. But I did sneak in a really challenging toss spin catch on Team Slytherin. So they're slightly less likely to win the house cup. Sorry, not the biggest fan. We gotta love Hufflepuff. So how did I make the sorting hat spinner? I just actually created a slideshow like this, and you can see it's just the hat spinning and pointing at different squares as Ravenclaw again. So created a slideshow, and each slide had the hat turned to a different house. So then I just played the slideshow and screen recorded that, and then put that onto iMovie and sped it up enough to be able to not quite tell where it's going to stop, and then put some fun music behind it. And there you go. You have a sorting hat spinner. Thanks to Ross C for helping out with that idea. All right. So go on to, so there's Gryffindor challenges. Let's go forward. You can see that. I also did a follow-up activity to this that you can check out on my YouTube channel that will work probably even better in person or after they come back from their flipped learning experience, or if they didn't get a chance to do it all at home. There's the Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff. All right. So you can see all those, and the GIFs I used were created in Unscreen. So just videoed them. Took a while to make sure 4-year-old would catch it in the correct spot. So that one's on repeat pretty fast. But yeah, you video just on my iPhone, send it to Unscreen or upload it to Unscreen. Keep it under 10 seconds if you want to keep it free. And then they remove the background, and then you could just insert your GIF or GIF anywhere in here if you want to replace and put yourself in here. Okay, so on to the jump rope ninja quest, which I actually created first. And I didn't quite yet have all the digital GIF and video skills, but and I didn't know about KineMaster at the time or Unscreen. but I believe the quest holds up. So let's start our journey and advance to the next slide. So for most of my on-demand, is what I call them, asynchronous lessons, I did create a what, why, and how intro, and that was modeled after Joy Fight and Terry Drain, and they can explain that strategy much better than I can, but it does help me and my students make sense of it all. So we'll watch a bit, and then we can talk a little bit about the different levels.
So what are you learning today?
So go over the what.
Today,
that's Joey's, the physical educator's graphic here.
Where you'll challenge yourself to reach hero, master, or even legendary skill.
Okay, so hero, master, legendary skill levels. Just coming up with those skill levels, all sounding awesome. That took me several hours and some texts to other physical educators.
You'll jump rope forwards, you'll jump rope backwards, you'll jump rope side to side.
You can see how I built the standards in as well as I was talking about the introduction.
Variety of other challenging tricks. And yes, they will be a challenge. But remember, every black belt ninja is a white belt ninja that just never quit. So don't give up and keep on working. You will get it.
All right, so if anybody has taught jump rope before, you know that can be a real challenge for a lot of students. So let's get into
So how will you know if you learn this? You'll use your Ninja Quest journey tracker to record your progress. And learning these skills will not happen overnight.
Again, I'm
progressing
reminding
through
them
the different
how
belt
challenging
levels
it
and
is.
challenge levels could take days, weeks, or even months. But it's a skill that you'll have for a lifetime. So it's worth the hard work.
Okay, you guys can get more into that and watch more at your leisure. So the next slide is the journey tracker. Let's take a look at that. I think I have a forced copy here as well. I do. I worked with San Diego County Office of Ed and shared this with them. Hopefully it helps some fellow San Diegans. So here we go. Here's the journey tracker. We have all the different tricks on the far left, and then they could check the boxes off as they work their way across. I didn't think about it, but of course my students did. Multiple students wrote the date that they achieved the different belt level in the box. I thought that was cool, and I never even recommended or advised them to do that. And then some of the reflection questions. How did you feel when you were able to move up a belt level? What is your next jump rope goal? And when do you want to achieve that goal? One of the follow-up lessons was a SMART goals lesson as well. So this is kind of a front-loading activity. And how did you know how hard you were exercising? So the previous lesson talked about perceived exertion. So then I tried to get, and these come from so many different physical educators out there. I put the tips and tricks and then the cues or the tips for each jump in there. So I just really appreciate everybody's shares. So that's why I'm trying to give back to the PE community and share as well. But you can find that all in the journey tracker. So now take the next step in your quest. And the next step is learning the ropes. So I created this video actually on Video Leap. So this is when I first started getting into the video apps. This was just created on my phone. And again, we're using our Halloween costumes, but these ones are from the prior year. So we were Harry Potter themed this year and then Ninja the previous year. So that worked out. In the video, I try to break it down as simple as I could, and also use my students, they are my students as well, but my kids. And I will just show you a bit of that.
To jumping and turning your jump rope. To help us remember, we'll stick to tips and tricks that start with a T before we even get to the actual jumping. First up is the tickle test to size your jump rope. Step on the middle of your rope and pull it up, and if it's a good length to tickle under your arms, then your rope is a good fit.
Ding.
Behind your heels.
Then we go through all the different
you'll tap the
tricks.
tips of the handles in front of your
Tap in front
tummy.
of your tummy.
Make sure your palms are facing up. after you tap it.
And then some
And
things
then jump.
to
Turning and jumping at the same time
try to
doesn't quite
avoid.
work out. It also helps to keep your body straight and not curled over. Remember to relax and keep the jump low. The rope is not very thick, so you don't have to jump high.
All right, and then I go over them all again.
So we're going to remind ourselves by tapping the tips in front of your
garage.
tummy and then turning and letting
Actually used a green screen. It was just a green sheet that I hung on
tap the tips, turn,
the cabinets.
And toes, and then step over. And more tips.
And we go through it all. Then I remind them again.
You will get it. So work hard, and you'll have a super fun skill that will keep you fit and healthy. Good luck. Have fun.
Good luck. Have fun. All right. So here is our choice board and the different levels. So you got Hero, Master, and Legend. It's built as a progression. And I like them to start at Hero and work their way. But we know students that will just jump right to the highest level. So also built into those, built into the levels, they're going to find some levels of the Master might actually be more challenging than those of the Legendary status level. So let's just start it. We'll start at the basic jump here. So you click on that link, and you can see the cues in the middle. In order to get a white belt, you're going to do 3 jumps of the basic jump, and then you're going to move your way up. So red belt is 20 jumps, and then I have a black belt challenge for each trick. So for the basic jump, the black belt challenge would be backwards, and that would be 20 in a row. All right, so either they can go to the next trick, which is jogger, and for the jogger, the black belt challenge would be the rocker. You continue as you progress through. We have the skier, and then the black belt challenge would be the skier twist. And if they want to move out of the hero, they just click on that link, and we can go back. So let's go to scissors. You can see I was able to separate the 2 different cues in the middle. So at any time they can go back to their challenge, or sorry, their choice board to choose their challenge, or they can just progress through to the next trick. So I tried to match it up color-wise as well. So a single side swing, and then a double side swing. And then now we are in the legendary status. The wounded duck is a legendary move. Crisscross, toe, jump, toe, or toe, jump, heel. I got quite a workout here as well. And then the half turn or the full turn. And then we also have some bonus tricks that didn't quite fit into my framework here, but I like them and I wanted to make sure we had them in there. Always give these extension opportunities, which you will also see in that overview, the standards lesson link. So I think that's about it. I was trying to get us under 30 minutes because I know you guys have a lot to do. So thanks for watching, and thanks for all that you're doing for our students. We are needed, and I appreciate you. And if you'd like to reach out to me again, you can find me on Twitter at Fusion_physed or email fusionphysed@gmail. And you can look for the link to these slides, and take care and have fun and good luck, everybody. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you for attending the 48th Annual Elementary Physical Education Workshop. We're glad you were here.
Please follow us on our social media platforms. EPEW can be found on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Please check out our website for links to more great sessions. Just go to epew-cp.weebly.com and click on the virtual EPEW 2021 tab at the top and scroll down.
EPEW 2021 Educators Assemble would not be possible without the support and dedication from the amazing EPW committee. The committee has been hard at work for months preparing for this workshop. Thank you to Linda McGee, Barbara Groton, Scott Wilson, Stephanie Sandino, Julie Miller, Jessica Monlux, Kayla Ailman, Shelby Lozano, Andrea Chavez, Scott Townsend, and Cindy Chase.
Thank you for attending EPEW, where our motto is, come to learn, leave as family.